Okay, so welcome to all of you. On behalf of Degree to Placements, I am Chartered Accountant Deepak Mulchandani and I am here to help you out on preparation to placements. Congratulations to all the November 24 pass outs. Despite of 11,500 passing, everybody knows that they have done the hard work so that they could be into those 11,500 students. Okay, so welcome to the club, welcome to the fraternity. Out of 140 crore brains, these are now 4,25,000 chartered accountants, and you are one of them. I am one of them. We are those elite brains who have done this hard work. So, congratulations to all of you. So, it should be a feel good feeling or hangover jana nahi chahiye. You should be in this hangover for a long, long time. But as it is said that, sir, I am in the hangover, मुझे अच्छा भी लग रहा है, but people everywhere are saying that it's going to take a lot of effort, lot of hard work to get a job and everything. हैप्पीनेस से ज्यादा लोगों ने प्रेशर दिया हुआ है दैट आई वुड बी एबल टू ब्रेक थ्रू और नॉट इज दैट सो यू आर सपोज टू यूज और इमोजीज और समथिंग टू गिव मी एंड लेट मी नो दैट यस वी आर टॉकिंग ऑन द सेम थिंग्स और नॉट okay, so first of all, don't worry on all that. Let me tell you one thing, this is a non-depreciable degree. Okay, so now once you have received it, it's yours. It's not going to evaporate. Okay, so it's yours. Every day in the morning, you can go and log in and check that the result has not been changed. It's still appearing as pass because we being chartered accountants, we'll have doubts, we'll have our own issues, we'll have our own concerns. You would have taken up a screenshot, you would have printed also, and you would have gone to another system also saying कि मेरा ही नाम है, मेरे ही नाम के आगे रोल नंबर है और दोनों के साथ में ही पास लिखा हुआ है. All that would have been done. So the new year has brought you as a professional. Great. Now, as we got connected onto the WhatsApp group, which we are running, and the Telegram channel Degree to Placements, the purpose of this meeting is number one, to keep you ready and give you the basic idea what it is all about and how do you navigate this path. I tried to ask few set of questions to many of the candidates and on they have replied on the WhatsApp group and they've given a set of questions to me also. So giving the set of questions will also be covered. Few things one on one. Okay, so because this is the first session in a series of sessions which we will have. This is the first one. So it will give you an idea how to draft a CV, how to prepare everything, what to do, what not to do. That would be the first thing. Secondly, I would try to give you an idea about many of the other things like how to use ChatGPT and AI to develop your thought process and develop those pointers in the CV. How to decode packages. Now, how to decode packages means what? Sometimes it's a CTCs of a very higher amount, but the take home has to be understood that what exactly will get credited monthly in your bank account. So that is something which a newcomer like you will not be able to understand. Okay. Voice is completely okay from my side. I would like to double check once again with others. Is voice fine with all of you? I don't know. Kartavya, you can just check. Kartavya Agrawal had an issue. Okay, increase the volume of your speaker. So, अभी I think you would have got used to it now. अभी पूरा तो पढ़ाई ऐसे ही किया है तुम लोगों ने. Online, online, online. You are those COVID batch students who started their intermediates now in COVID, and then you went into finals, and then you actually got into the situation of अभी तो सर सभी ऑनलाइन है सर. रिलेशनशिप से लेके एग्जाम से लेके बस लिखा हमने पेपर पे, बाकी तो सब ऑनलाइन ही था. ओके. यस. Yes, I remember there are few faces. Yash is known to me. Mohanani ji is known to me. All of you have been my students. I remember 2019, 2020 students. Agni, Prithvi batch. Correct. Okay. Ha, Nahata 2019. So all of you are there, yes. Ha.
Recording in progress.
Okay. So let's get on to our work now. So it's been enough of it, what we have been discussing. So now a formal welcome on behalf of Degree to Placements for your Prepare to Place session 1 for November 2024 candidates. Okay, so let us come on to one by one. Sir, how to draft a CV? First of all, the agenda. I'll repeat the agenda once. How to draft a CV, how to use AI and ChatGPT to for interview preparation, how to decode packages, number one, and then job offered to CA versus actual job of CA in various sectors, what job descriptions mean in reality, and further studies versus jobs. So these are multiple questions which we will be facing, and the whole world is not going to assume things from you. Aisa kar lo, vaisa kar lo, do this, do that. All these things are going to come in front of you. So it's now for you to time to enjoy on all that and still keep in deciding what you have done. So as I said, I have received a set of questions which I will address also. First, if you allow me, let me speak some things. First of all, is that okay with you? मैं अपनी बात कह दूं and then you can have those set of questions. It's going to be an interactive session. Okay.
Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
Okay, so first is CV drafting, second is where to apply, third is how to apply, fourth is metro cities versus own city, and domains to apply. Now, the moment I say making a CV, okay, so first of all, when you make a CV, I am talking to 2024 generation, so I am not going to define a CV straightforward. You would be knowing it very well what I'm talking about. But yes, a CV is your definition, first of all. The way you studied for CA finals and CA intermediates, exactly same something can so somebody else cannot replicate. You can't simply give your strategy to others. And वो हो सकता है आपकी तरह ना पढ़े और हो सकता है वो आपसे बेहतर पढ़े आपसे खराब पढ़े आप उसे गाइड कर सकते हो आप ये नहीं बोल सकते कि ऐसा ही करने से हो जाएगा सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल व्हेन यू डिफाइन योरसेल्फ यू आर यूनिक टू द वर्ल्ड यू आर यूनिक टू द फैमिली कहीं ना कहीं आई हैव ऑलवेज सीन दैट पीपल आर लुकिंग आउट फॉर सीवी दे दो आई विल जस्ट नेम चेंज द फोन नंबर ईमेल आईडी मोबाइल नंबर दैट वोंट वर्क एक्चुअली so it's my humble request to all of you. You have to start taking notes. Definitely, I'm recording this session, but कितना ही रिकॉर्डिंग देख लो जो हाथ से खुद किया हुआ रहता है वही काम आता है सो आई वुड सजेस्ट ऑल ऑफ यू टू पुल अप योर नोटपैड्स एंड मेक सम फ्यू पॉइंटर्स द सीवी इज योर डेफिनेशन so the content language structure quantification and review these are the four steps which you have to take on every cv of yours number one the content and the language should be standardized too much of hi-fi words which you used to write in 6th 7th I humbly seek request to the respected sir or all that is not needed nowadays clarity simplicity and brevity is something which is required straightforward the content and the language should speak on its own you should not say I did this I did that ऐसा नहीं होता है okay so you have to be very brief and precise so that a person who has got around like 3 minutes to see your CV he should be prompted and he should be excited कि मुझे इससे बात करनी है I should be calling him or calling her okay so the moment I say content and language it has to be clear specific and brief the structure has to be an organized structure a lot of questions started coming into me that how to do about CV what to include in the CV second and then whether should I include the client name or not so the structure will get into it and then how do you quantify all those things will also something which we will discuss and the review of it so if I try to give you a simple basic structure of a CV let me tell you there is no ideal structure of a CV but yes you should make life simpler of the person आप समझ के देखो if somebody you have done your articleship okay so if the client sends you the data with a proper email explaining sir the data is here Folder 1 contains all the payable details. Folder 2 contains all the receivable details. Folder 3 contains the details related to assets. What will be your response time? Lesser or more on this audit? Let me know. How will you respond? Faster or slower? Give me answers. Sir, will respond faster, sir, by all means. There's no doubt about that. So now once you are able to respond faster, why? Because the data is organized. Okay. So now if the data is organized, so what are you supposed to do? Sir, I am also supposed to organize my CV, organize my content and give it to the person. Correct? So organizing the data, structuring your CV, quantifying it and then reviewing it. So somehow a basic structure should come like this in terms of a photo. Now that one question was there, do you need a photograph or not? So my suggestion nowadays in the virtual environment is there are many of the names which are unisexual. So you never know that you are interviewing a boy or a girl. Secondly, there have been ghosting of interviews which have happened over the last few years. What does that mean? Ghosting means, for example, Yash comes to me and says, Deepak, you give the interview as Yash Bansal and afterwards I will join. So that Munna Bhai style. So because of this, a proper photo, a formal photo, not necessarily that passport wala, ganda wala, Aadhaar wala photo, your individual good selfie can also be brought in, but that selfie has to be a formal one. So a good formal photo in a suit and a coat and a tie or a proper shirt or even a salwar suit also is fine. But a photo will help. Not necessarily. So there has been a difference of opinion in terms of putting up a photo or not putting up a photo. I suggest that if you put up a photo is not a problem. One surprising question came to me on a personal DM message. Sir, I don't look very nice. I have a dark complexion. I have put on weight while studying. So will they reject me? Boss, they are not doing your auditions based on your physical appearance. You are not appearing for a web series. You are not appearing for a film show. You are appearing for something which is intellect based. Okay. So when it is intellect based, so be assured nobody is going to judge you based on your appearance. Yes, your appearance has to be neat, but your physical shape, your culture, your caste, creed, religion, your eating habits do not decide whether you are selected or not. At least for all the big fours, let me tell you, all the big six and all the multinational companies, they are very clear. They don't discriminate you based on caste, creed, religion, body type, skin color, or eating habits. Okay, so be assured on that. Second is your email ID and contact number should be handy. Okay, so your email ID and contact number should be handy and should be very clear. Emails, please make sure I have received around 35 bounced emails today when I was sending those invites. When I asked you to register, I asked you to put up a valid email ID. Around 35 people did put a wrong email ID. ये problem होता है. So if your email ID is not correct, your mobile number is not correct, and even if you are carrying two mobile phones, please make sure that numbers which you do a double, triple check before sending anything to them. Okay, that's the first thing. यहाँ तक clear? Is that okay? Can I move forward? Any questions till now? जो मैंने बोला उसमें आगे और भी चीजें आपके क्वेश्चंस एड्रेस हो जाएंगे. Okay. Yes. Done. Cool. So the now moment you go into the education qualifications, people come and ask, sir, how do I put my qualification? Rule number one, your latest qualification shall be the first. So the chronological order should be latest is the first and then you will go down. Latest CA finals. Now the next question comes is, should I write the number of attempts? Not needed. I have passed in first attempt. Should I write? Yes, you can write. But if you have taken multiple attempts, no need to put that how many number of attempts. Okay. Once a chartered accountant, always is a chartered accountant. Yes, if you want to highlight and say exemption scored, I was a city topper, I scored a rank, that is a different case. But usually, no. For example, so it should be very simple in terms of education qualification. Exam, for example, CA Inter, CA Final, Group 1, Group 2. And if you've done both, nothing like it. If you've done each wise, so you have to give a chronological order of this way. Okay. So how do you exam board year and score? And if there is an all India rank, it has to be given. Sir, मैं score नहीं लिखूं तो I have just scored 400 or 300 out of 600. It's fine. You no need to give a score. So you can have three columns: exam, board, and year. Exam, year, and board, as the case may be. Okay. So how many do you really think this education qualification should capture a lot of space on your CV, or it should be not more than 4 to 5 lines? CA intermediate, CA final, CA intermediate, CA foundation, 12th BCom. Maximum 4 to 5 lines, and 1 line for the column. There is no city topper list, sir. People only presume and create their own city toppers, city topper list. There is no city topper list, Mr. 2672. And first of all, these people don't change the name. So Mr. 2672 became a chartered accountant and wants to see the city topper list. 4 or 5 lines are enough. Now comes your basic first exposure. Okay. So now the moment you go to the exposure, BCom 11, BCom 12th, foundation, inter, final. BCom 12th, foundation, inter, final. If somebody is pursuing CS or has cleared CS executive, mention it. Somebody is pursuing some other course, you can mention and write pursuing. That is fine. Okay. Now the moment I go into technical skills and work skills, Kushank, direct entry students will not put foundation. Simple, sir. यार क्या मजाक करते हो तुम सब बच्चे कभी कभी. Okay. Yes, articleship experience is not similar to job profile. एक मिनट आ रहा हूँ. Not appeared both group at once. Muskan, you should give both group wise details. I'll draw it for you. I'll redraw it. You can have 3 columns. You can have 4 columns. If you want to write fourth column, if you want to give, you give. For example, rank or an exemption, etc. CA final, group 1, yeah, both groups, as the case may be. If it is group 1, group 2, then group 1, group 2, whatever you have appeared for. Then ICI, CA intermediate, ICAI, CA foundation. Okay. 12th. Oh, here it would be CBSC. Sorry. CBSC, MP board, ICSE, however the case may be. Yes, Akanksha, you can write that cleared both groups in first attempt. Samiti, I am coming to all that, beta. I am just on the academic qualifications right now. I'll come to whatever you are asking for, beta. CBSC, so 12th might be the case 2019. And if certain percentage or if you have certain good achievements, you can write that. So that's how your qualification column should come in. Not more than 4 to 5 lines, unless there is a specific thing which you would like to highlight. Is that okay? Can I go forward now? No, Isha, you can mention the specific group which you opted in Jan 21. So you can write Jan 21. Okay, graduation details, BCom. If a BCom has been done between CA Foundation, CA Inter, so that BCom can be mentioned here. DAVV University. So it will be DAVV University here. BCom and your 3-year BCom score. Okay. Not necessary, Chahat. You can simply write cleared CA final in first attempt. 2 attempts in group 2 of Inter not needed. That they will make out. Don't worry. देखो अटेम्प्ट का काउंटिंग का इशू कब आता है व्हेन देयर आर सर्टेन लाइंस ऑफ सर्विस व्हिच दे काउंट अटेम्प्ट्स और उसमें इफ समबडी इज गिविंग यू दैट एडवाइस मत लिख नहीं पकड़ में आएगा ऐसा नहीं है व्हाट विल हैपन लेट मी टेल यू all the HRs are very much seasoned and very much comfortable and aware that how to calculate the attempts and they very well know that there was an opt out opt in attempt was not done in 2020 May, so they all know that. Okay, so now what will happen is in these situations they will calculate and when they select you na, so they actually ask you to fill a form and that form filling will have all the details, your exam date or month and your score. So the moment if you say that okay you appeared one in May 21, then you did not appear in November 21 and then you appeared in May 22, so they will know that you have skipped the November 21. So they will come to know. If you think that they will not be able to come to know and you can fool them around, that is not the case. But there is no need. But there is no need right now to put this across. Okay. Am I clear? Mohit Bansali, if you are pursuing CFA, then you have to mention CFA Institute and at which level, level 1, level 2 you are pursuing, you have to mention that. अगर आपके पास क्वालिफिकेशंस ज्यादा हैं तो एक एक लाइन बढ़ाते जाइए उसके अंदर. ओके, कैन आई गो फर्दर? Okay, so that's qualifications done. Now let's talk about. Now I am not Mr. Samiti Jain. I am not Mr. 2672. Don't have private conversations, please, sir. Mr. 2672. Okay. Everything is visible to me. सुधरे नहीं है बच्चे अभी तक. Now let's talk about work experience. The work experience comes into two categories. Number one is articleship experience. So if I try to put up things like this, articleship experience. If I have आपका आर्टिकलशिप कब से कब तक चलेगा 2021 से 24 if I am not wrong. Okay, for example Jan 22 to Jan 25 for example. Okay, यहाँ पे आपका फर्म ABC लिमिटेड. ओके, यस हिमांशु यू कैन मेंशन कंप्लीशन ईयर, बट जैसे आपका इंटर का कंप्लीशन ईयर आएगा तो उसको फाइनल में कितना टाइम लगा समझ में आ जाएगा. आप सब वो चीज़ों का लोड लेना बंद कर दो. मैं बता रहा हूँ जो है वो है और जो सामने है मैं वैसा हूँ, मैं ऐसे सीए बना हूँ. इसको छुपाने की कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है. दिस इज नॉट नीडेड दैट यू शुड कीप हाइडिंग और प्लेइंग अराउंड इन अ वे दैट दे शुड not be able to see your score, but they should not be able to see your number of attempts. Please do away with that. I told you and I am repeating it again. They very well know and they are able to calculate this also. Okay. Now the moment you say articleship experience, so there is something like this will come in. For example, if I put a table like this, Now, when I put up a table like this, listen, look at this carefully. Okay, this is going to be very important. Now, under ABC Limited, how many partners are there? What kind of a size of a firm is there? For example, somebody working in, let's say, in Indore in a MCS, in a M Mehta, or a ABT, or a KKC, or a Fadnis and Gupte, or a very big firm. So then they should highlight that particular in a one-liner thing. ABC Limited, a 25-year-old firm with X number of partners प्रोवाइडिंग सर्विसेज या विथ एक्स नंबर ऑफ पार्टनर्स करके भी आप रोक सकते हो. वाई एम आई सेइंग सो, ये क्यों लिखना चाहिए अपने को? बिकॉज दे विल कम टू नो द साइज ऑफ द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन वेर यू हैव वर्कड इन. सो दिस इज एप्लीकेबल फॉर पीपल हु हैव वर्कड इन बिगर ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस. अब थोड़ा उल्टा सोचना पड़ेगा. सर मेरे यहाँ तो दो ही सीए थे, मेरे यहाँ तो वन ही चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट वाज देयर, देयर इज ओनली अ सोल प्रोप्राइटर. सर, should not be a problem. You just mention the name ABC Limited. Okay? Is that fine? Don't take it as a negative point. You were there in that firm, you became a chartered accountant, that place was good enough to make you chartered accountant. So now stop cribbing. I personally really don't like one word being used by all the kids when they come and say, I did articleship from a mediocre firm. See, the word mediocre is a very strong and harsh word, you know. Had that been place mediocre, had that environment been mediocre, you would have not been here. So stop cursing your existing organization. They gave you the facility or you made the opportunities on your own so that you became a chartered accountant. Okay? So ABC Limited 12-year old with ex partners. अगर कोई स्पेशलाइजेशन है फर्म का, अगर फर्म का कोई स्पेशलाइजेशन है, इफ यू हैव अ स्पेशलाइजेशन ऑफ अ फर्म into equity funding, into finance, into audit, or if listed clients, if they are handling any listed clients, please mention that, because that sparks something. For example, I am the reader, I'll say, oh, listed client exposure. Listed client exposure is the highest level of exposure which you can have. So they'll understand that if you are a part of that or not. And once you get to this, then prepare a column like this. Have a look at it. So prepare your CV now in such a way. That's two columns. Number one, audit. Okay. So now under audit, you can have two: statutory audit, and then under statutory audit, you can write your experiences. Hello. Under statutory audit, you will have one, two, three, four. Okay. Then internal audit. Now, the moments I say I have done work on statutory audit. Now, what do you mean by the word statutory audit? Simply doing a cut copy paste of the last year report into a new report does not mean statutory audit. Okay, statutory audit means tax audit as well as statutory audit under Companies Act. So, what did you do in that particular audit? That you have to make them understand. इसके लिए एक बड़ा famous phrase है. You have to find the purple cow. Purple cow. पर्पल कलर की गाय होती है? पहले तो ये बताओ. All the guys, please tell me if there is a purple color guy. Is there a purple color guy? Hmm? So I have people, no? After Holi, it can be there. If you do color on cow, then yes. Okay, so how did you pass your CA exams? I can understand now. I am having doubts on the checking now. So there is no purple color cow. Okay. But if there is a purple color cow, will it be identifiable or not? अगर पर्पल कलर काव होगा तो अलग से दिखेगा कि नहीं दिखेगा ये बताओ. So now friends, you have to find the purple cow in your CV. In your exposure of 3 years, you have to create purple cows. How can you create a purple cow, sir? Let me tell you. Number one, if you have led a team of 5 or 6 people where you are leading the audit from fieldwork to client discussion, that is something should be done. Led the team of 6 individuals from fieldwork to conclusion and client discussion and reporting for a company having turnover of X amount. Now here 2 or 3 questions will pop up. Number one, can I give the turnover of the company? Yes, it's a public domain data. Okay. Can I say the name of the employees of the company? No. What work you did in that particular audit? Can I say that? Yes. Can I give financial details of the company of profit loss? No. Is it necessary to give the name of the company? No. But why are you asking that we should give the name of the companies or their details? So that the person who is interviewing you should understand that okay, you have done some real solid work. अगर मैं आपको ये लिख के देता हूं, 2 sentences बताता हूं, आप बताना फर्स्ट वाला और सेकंड वाला which one is good enough. First, did the statutory audit of ABC Limited. Second, led the statutory audit with a team of 6 members from client discussion, fieldwork to reporting and conclusion of a company worth having turnover 10 crores, 50 crores, 100 crores, 200 crores, whatever the case may be. Which one will you prefer to ask? अगर आप इंटरव्यूअर हो तो आप किससे बात करना चाहोगे, फर्स्ट वाले से या सेकंड वाले से? तो वो सेकंड आप बनाओगे ना लाइन. So what there are certain to-dos which you need to note down as all the people who are going to prepare and do the finishing of their CVs. Number one, list out your work. This is actually not a 1 minute job. Huh? List out your work. It will take good amount of time. कैसे ढूंढना है सर मेरे को वो काम मेरा? How do I find out that what work I have done? How will I come to know that? Okay, I'll tell you. What you do is your articleship years are 2021 to 24. Usually. So आपको घर पे ये लिस्ट कैसे बनानी है? अब ये जो मैं बना रहा हूँ दिस शुड नॉट गो इनटू द सीवी, बट आपकी अपनी लिस्ट बननी चाहिए खुद की. 2021, 22, क्योंकि अपना काम याद करना भी बड़ा काम होता है. What you do is Jan, Feb, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, ऐसा एक tabulation बनाना. Okay, तो tabulation बना के याद करना. When did you start your articleship? For example, yes, when did you start your articleship, beta? I don't remember. I think it was January 20 or what, I don't know. 21, Feb 21. So let's say 21 Feb ये start था. Okay, so now Feb, March, April, May, June, July, you would have done something. So you have to actually think through what kind of clients did you do, what kind of work did you do. So this you start noting down, और ये सब it becomes the raw material for you to summarize and put it in the form of 1 or 2 or 3 lines into your main work exposure. Got my idea? For example, maximum work you would have done in September season. September, October of 22, 23, both. Yes or no? And somebody who has been good enough in bank audits would have done March, April, a lot of it. Somebody who would have been into the listed entities, they would have done work on every quarter. Let me tell you, December they would have worked, March they would have worked, June they would have worked, and September also they would have worked. Yes or no? So this is how you need to understand and think through first of all that what work I have done. How will I show it off? तो पहले पता तो चले दिखाना क्या है. So उसका एक लिस्ट बनेगा. Mr. A, you are too excited, too excited. Let me come to those things, my dear. I am talking about articleship experience right now. First of all, what you have done, you have to put it across. Are you a dummy, Mr. A? No, na. Ha. So you're saying your initial question was articleship experience is not similar to job profile. Articleship experience is standard. Job profiles will change everywhere, Mr. A. So just wait. Relax. 4 साल लगे सीए बनने में मिनिमम. 4 घंटे सीवी बनने में लगेंगे तो चलेगा. एवरी फ्रेशर नाउअडेज व्हाट वांट्स इज बोले सर सीए हो गया है नाउ गिव मी अ 15 लाख का जॉब वर्क फ्रॉम होम. Enough of work I have done and the kind of atmosphere you are in since the result day, it's as good as that. है ना. न्यू ईयर के बाद से यही चल रहा है. अभी एवरीबॉडी 10 लाख दे दो, 20 लाख दे दो, वर्क फ्रॉम होम दे दो. बॉस यू हैव टू कम टू द रियलिटी. गिव योरसेल्फ टाइम मैन. Okay, so this is understood. How do you list your work? That is one very big point which keeps coming to me, that how do I mention things. Okay, yes, you can mention the client name, but just mentioning the client name will not help. For example, if there is a client which is a dealer in cars or any big brand, a Tata dealer or a Toyota dealer or a Hyundai dealer, correct? The amount of work which you have done or the turnover which they have done. So at least that gives the magnitude of what kind of client you have handled. See, a tax audit report is same for a 500 crore client also and a 1 crore client also. The statutory audit report, my dear, is same for a small company as well as for a large company. So how will you create an impression on that particular sentence that मैंने ये काम करा है, I will put it this way. जैसे मैंने आपको एक example दिया, I gave you one example that completed the statutory audit of various private limited and private limited companies. Led the team of 6 people into the audit, right from initiation to conclusion, रिपोर्टिंग एंड क्लाइंट हैंडलिंग. इससे क्या होता है, मुझे पता चलता है कि ये बंदा सिर्फ ऑडिट में टीम में बैठ के सिर्फ वाउचिंग कर रहा था या पूरा काम किया इसने. आई एम गोइंग टू इंटरव्यू यू, सो आई वुड लाइक टू सी व्हाट यूटिलिटी यू विल ब्रिंग टू मी. इज दैट करेक्ट नाउ? आई होप आई हैव मेड माय थिंग्स क्लियर. And it's been almost 40 minutes now into the session, and still there are 152 candidates listening, so that means I'm making some sense. Yes or no? Can I have some expressions and yes no's? Was this needed? ऐसा कुछ चाहिए था कि नहीं चाहिए था? So this much needed, once it goes on to the YouTube and other places, you need to give all these emojis and responses there also, you know, so that क्या करते हैं आजकल, you will give the traction to what we say. आजकल आप लोग comments और वो सब करते हो तो फर्क पड़ता है ना. Okay. So Om has a question. Can I mention that I did work for 2-3 people because of lack of staff for articleship during my articleship? Om, you can rephrase this. अब rephrase कैसे करना है? चैट्स कहाँ रिकॉर्ड करेंगे? चैट्स रिकॉर्ड करके कौन डालेगा यार? छोड़ो, ये सब करना होता तो बहुत कुछ करते पहले. आप लोग खुद ऑर्गेनिक तरीके से जो लिखना है लिख देना. और वैसे ही मैंने कौन से पैसे लिए हैं? इट्स फ्री. चलो. Yes, you all need to bring the engagement. That's it. Okay. ठीक है. We'll हाँ, लीडिंग ऑडिटिंग बोला तो सही मैंने. Let's rephrase Om Talreja's sentence. Okay, everybody knows what Om Talreja has written. हाउ विल यू रिफ्रेज इट? मैं आपको इसमें ट्रिक्स देता हूँ, सुनो। रिफ्रेज एक मैं करके देता हूँ और आप सब लोग अपने जीपीटी से भी रिफ्रेश करने को बोलो। आपको करके दिखाऊं जीपीटी कैसे रिफ्रेश करेगा? आप ये जीपीटी पे डालो इसको, देखो मैं आपको करके बताता हूँ। ये जीपीटी मैंने चालू करा, I want to mention in my articleship experience that I did the work of 2-3 people because of lack of staff or articles during my articleship in a very decent and organized way. Oh, ChatGPT didn't catch that. Okay. Mayank, this is first session. I'll guide on many things. Please understand. This is one of the many sessions. Okay. So I'll you prepare to place. सब कुछ होगा। अभी सीवी पे बात हो रही है, सीवी के बाद डोमेन पे बात होगी, डोमेन के बाद सैलरीज पे भी बात होगी, कि जीपीटी को कैसे यूज करना है इस पे भी बात होगी। अभी देखो उसने कैचअप नहीं करा तो अपन टाइप कर लेते हैं, चलो। हाउ डू आई मेंशन in my CV of chartered accountant that I have worked for multiple people because there was lack of staff or articles during my articleship, so that it gives a good impression in the CV. ये देखो भाई साहब कितने रिफ्रेजिंग मिल गया। मिस्टर कहाँ गए? मिस्टर ओम तलरेजा, I hope I have been able to give you some insight. Okay, can I go ahead now? No, I'll tell you what. इसमें है ना, you have to be a bit smarter. If you exactly cut copy paste from chat gpt, the person will be able to pick up that it's chat gpt. I'll tell you why. Chat gpt is responding based on millions of the details given to him, so all the chartered accountants would have given that much gyan to chat gpt that how do I do it. So now if I am using chat gpt, I will not simply cut copy paste it. I will take few words and then make it a bit more original. ये ध्यान रखना आनंदी. Okay, so it is not supposed to be done with an immediate cut copy paste. Don't simply cut copy paste. You have to customize it, and it should have the flavor of you. Please understand, a CV cannot be made purely by chat gpt, but chat gpt can assist. It's an assistant, it's not a replacement. Yes, matlab you can do proof reading, you can improvise your english, but original draft should be of yours. Please understand this. And I did not say any of the whiteboard, so I'm closing the whiteboard. Okay, understood? So this is one small thing. चैट जीपीटी को और भी बहुत कुछ बोल सकते हैं, लेट मी टेल यू फॉर इट। अभी मैं उसमें टेक्निकल इंटरव्यू के लिए प्रिपेयर कैसे करेंगे, आई टेल यू। ओके, लेट मी फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल कंप्लीट योर सीवी थिंग. सो नाउ व्हाट हैपेंड, नंबर वन, I tried to find my experience. I tried to collate my experience in this way. After collating the experience in this way, I organized it in audit. And then now when I come into taxation, so audit हो गया, statutory और internal, taxation के अंदर डायरेक्ट एंड इनडायरेक्ट, डायरेक्ट के अंदर अगर आपने लिटिगेशन अपील्स फाइल करी हैं, लिटिगेशन और कंप्लायंस, दोनों में अंतर पता है ना? लिटिगेशन एंड कंप्लायंस। जीएसटी के रिटर्न भरना कहां पे आएगा, लिटिगेशन या कंप्लायंस? जल्दी बताओ। टीडीएस रिटर्न्स, कंप्लायंस। ड्राफ्टिंग ऑफ रिस्पॉन्सेस ऑफ नोटिसेस, presentation before authorities. Understood the difference? सिमिलरली इनडायरेक्ट टैक्सेशन के अंदर भी अगर लिटिगेशन और कंप्लायंस किया है तो ऑडिट किया, टैक्सेशन किया, उसके बाद अगर आपने फाइनेंस किया हुआ है या कुछ ड्यू डिलिजेंस किया हुआ है एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा जो भी, करेक्ट। तो ये बेसिकली कुछ इस तरह से बन के निकलेगा आप लोगों का। अगर मैं इसको बनाने की कोशिश करूं ना, इसको अगर एक मैं फॉर्मेट दे के याद करने की कोशिश करूं कि हाउ विल इट अपीयर, so it will appear something like this. Audit, taxation, finance, or anything else, any special, if you have done any special assignments, होता है ना कई बार इन्वेस्टिगेशन किया है, ऐसा किया है, वैसा किया है, ऐसा कुछ अगर आपने किया होगा, सो दैट विल हेल्प। I went somewhere. Yes. Oops, just a minute, give me some minute.
Recording stopped.
तुम सबने मुझे रिमाइंड नहीं कराया कि रिकॉर्डिंग चालू करनी है।
Recording in progress.
You just keep reminding me, okay? Otherwise I always miss out on certain things. You all need to keep reminding me. This is all participants who did not remind me to keep recording it, okay? Okay, now the moment I say that number of pages now, so number of pages 1 to 2 is fine. Is fine. So no need कि एक ही में आना है, no need कि दो में नहीं जाना है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं, 2 pages are fine. If you have good amount of things to explain, you can have 2 pages. Nobody will stop you from doing that, okay? Somebody says, sir, nowadays can we have some fancy template CVs from Canva? Yes, you can have, but the fancy should be limited to a professional CV. For example, in certain Canva templates, you will find this thing. For example, this is a template. And it works this way. So it has a photo here. Okay, the photo is here. Now certain personal details are here. Contact details are here. And main things come here. Objective, article shape. So now under article shape we'll have that kind of a table which I told you. अच्छा सर टेबल की मैं बाउंड्री हटा दूं तो perfectly fine. मतलब you can have make these boundaries invisible and still have that audit, tax, finance, understood, and then education. So that is the liberty which you have. आप ये समझो, please, I am trying to make you understand again and again. You have to remember that these things have to go in the right way. It should be presentable. These are all options available. Templates on Canva are there, templates on YouTube, internet. There are so many lectures available. I'm just trying to tell you, you try to develop your own identity in a nicer way. Okay? So declaration is not needed. 1 to 2 pages is fine. Font size, yes, I have written all these points, sir. Let me tell you. Yeah. Yes, it can be 1 page or 2 pages. Second, font size shall be 12 Times New Roman or Calibri font should be fine enough. It has to be a PDF. Avoid a Word file. Why am I saying avoid a Word file? Because Word has different versions everywhere. MS Word. So pata chala you have sent the CV with a nice formatting and somebody else person has got a different version of MS Word. So then the formatting may go for a toss. So PDF is like the way you send it, the person will receive it in the same way. It's like when you want to eat a good thali, you don't order it on a Zomato or a Swiggy because thali will come into all the packing. The best part of enjoying a thali is the way it is being served in the restaurant. So rather than send your thali in the proper way. So PDF will retain the thali format. Okay. What numbers? No, Mehak, no numbers are necessary. If you have quantification details, fair enough. If you don't have quantification details, not needed. Okay. These are relatable examples, yes, nothing else. Okay. As a font can be 10 Ria, 12 is a standard font. Okay, and you can use a couple of colors. If you put everything in PDF, it's easy, but those colors should not be flashy. Not necessary to keep the points to one line. You can have 2 lines, beta, if you have things to write to express yourself. I'll tell you what, once you draft your first CV, na, read that CV after taking that printout. Don't do that conjuicy of taking printout. Print it out and see it and then see it again on the next day. Slowly and gradually after 2 or 3 readings, you will start finding कि मैं इसको और अच्छे से कर सकता हूँ. I can improvise this. I can improvise that. So that will take some time, but it will come out nicer way. Yes, sir. I will. This session is getting recorded. Should not be a problem, Mr. NHJJJJJJK. The recording shall be available on YouTube. Okay. Email IDs, for example, Deepak.Mulchandani@gmail is fine. Ronitsa20 @gmail is fine. Ronitsa007 Thanos @gmail.com is not fine. Can you see me @gmail.com is not fine. Okay. So please make sure should not be the case, and your mobile number and your name should be there in your email signature is also there needed. Email signature. Okay. So that's one. Okay. तो इतना बात कर लिए. Ankit. Thank you very much if it is giving that. Ankita is saying, I must tell you that you are actually calming me out of all the pressure created by others. I literally felt I am not doing enough after becoming a CA. किसने बोला अंकिता? अरे CA बन गए यार अपन. तो बहुत अच्छी बात है. मैं तेरे इसका फोटो ले लूं क्या? आजकल मेरे को बच्चों ने सिखाया है, तुम जैसे बच्चों ने, कि ये सब करना जरूरी है सर, लोगों को दिखाओ. This recording will be available on YouTube, no problems. ठीक है? It's all for free. I must insist saying that. Huh? I'm getting private message smileys by people. Sir. Okay, learning this. Okay. तो इतना हो गया. Now I have certain set of questions because today till 7:30 I think we'll be able to do this much only. Let us have one more session on Sunday. क्या बोलते हो? Because बहुत सारा करना है अभी अपने को. If you really want to have proper details, tomorrow I already have a session. So let us have it on Sunday. चलेगा? अरे इन्वेस्टमेंट बैंकिंग, स्टैट्यूटरी ऑडिट, इंटरनल ऑडिट, टैक्सेशन, एमएनए, टैक्स, इतनी सारी चीजें हैं डिस्कस करने के लिए, एक एक करके आपको बताने के लिए. सबको ढंग से बताने का मन है मेरा. So I would like to give you one by one what exactly it is all about. आनंदी, तो बताने के लिए टाइम भी तो फिक्स करना पड़ेगा. आप सब लोग अब सीए बन गए हो, बड़े लोग हो गए हो. चलो अभी मैं आपके ना सीवी रिलेटेड 15-17 क्वेश्चंस जो हैं वो मैं आप लोगों को बता देता हूँ. प्रखर, don't you think I will be able to give you a proper explanation? Acha, I didn't introduce myself properly also. Okay, let me tell you. Good question. Okay, so I am a chartered accountant and I have worked in PwC and Deloitte for 4.5 years. I was seconded to London by Deloitte and I came up with an appreciation letter which led to promotions. For me, I audited Madame Tussauds as well as a wine distribution company, a steel manufacturing company. And while I was working in PwC and Deloitte, I worked with Hindustan Lever, Titan, as well as Suzlon and ABB. And I have been teaching and training CS students since last 16 years now. And in those 16 years, I have been able to place more than 2,500 chartered accountants and have enabled them to get into their first jobs. And what I'm doing today is nowhere a business for me. It's my passion. And I've been doing these things since last 10 years. So every year every exam I make a group and people like you get into the group without too much of any shosha and advertisements, and then we do these discussions and it helps them. And satisfied people like you tell their tell their juniors, please listen to these sessions, these are helpful. Because of this kind of a service, I have been able to develop a relationship with all the big fours. All the big fours do pre-placement talks and sessions. Okay, so those pre-placement talk and sessions were done pre-result by EY as well as PwC. KPMG may also do it. Wipro pre-placement talk session is going to come very soon on 9th of January. So you will be getting those invites. Today while registering, you would have got it in your pre-placement form only, if you would have seen it properly. The registration link. So all these things will happen. WhatsApp group link, D2P, yes, you send a particular WhatsApp to this number. I'll copy it down. Just a minute. Okay, just wait. And send it across to you. Here is the link. Okay. आप सब लोगों को ये पता नहीं था तो आप लोग यहाँ तक पहुंचे कैसे फिर? I'll give you. दिव्या, EY की तैयारी के लिए I'll give you. Friends na Ansi, so friends help na, this is the WhatsApp chat group. There is a Telegram group also. Just a minute, let me tell you, so that you can access all these resources for free. No registrations, nothing, simply go and download. November 20. Now this is a Telegram group link I am giving, which will help you to keep a tab on all the vacancies which are coming up. Share it with your friends also. This is Telegram group link, and there is one website of mine. Okay, so that website has given all the details and all the materials for you to study. So now allow me next 10-20 minutes to explain you how to prepare for technical interviews through the free resources available. Okay, that does not mean I will not be taking the session on those domains. I will be explaining all those domains one by one. After today's session, you will have more organized set of questions for me. You got my point? You will have more organized set of questions for me, which will make the discussion even better for all of us. Okay, so here is the website whose link I am sharing. So this is the website. Okay, now I'll open this website here on iPad also, so that you all can have a look. So here is the website. It is degree2placements.com. Okay, so this is a website which is available for all of you to see and download. What we can help you with: interview questions of various fields. Okay, so on the moment you gather interview questions for various fields, here you see what all you have. So the interview preparation material is there for all the lines of service: statutory audit, transfer pricing, direct tax, indirect tax. Who was having this examination? Who was the girl who mentioned that I have an interview taxation? Akshaya and Divya. So direct tax, indirect tax, investment banking, how to be multitasking at work, how to develop com skills, questions for finance. Any questions which you refer, first of all you need to do these two things. ये दो जरूर पक्के से आप निकाल के रखना. मतलब दो आपको करने ही करने हैं. वो कौन से मैं आपको बताता हूँ. Okay, there is nothing relevance of red and black. It's simply like just a color scheme. There's no red black. Everything question. I'll open it one. So there are certain accounting concepts, basics that you need to have. Like for example, these accounting, everything is a downloadable Google file. Okay, you can simply download it and then study. So now these are the questions, and then there are the answers to these questions. Okay, so you have to revise and refresh. Questions and then answers. Got it? These are questions for basic accounting concepts. Okay. Now all the sets do not have answers. Let me be very honest. Now answers are something which can be easily accessible by all of you. I'll tell you what. How? Uh, it's as simple as that. Go to GPT, put that question, and they'll give you the answer. Because putting up a standard answer for everything will make you ratify everything and mug up everything. Now in chartered accountancy you cannot have. But yes, let me tell you now, if you say that I have done statutory audit of a company, so the person will come back and ask you what all you have done in statutory audit. So if you say I have done the revenues, so it is expected that you know Ind AS 115. Okay, how will you check the revenue? Their questions will always be in terms of the large client context. Now the biggest problem which every kid faces is, sir, I have not faced large large scale clients. So there you can take the help of GPT. For example, I'll go to GPT right now in front of you and try to make you understand. So now take the questions from there and then you can put those questions here. Okay. I will be appearing for an interview as a chartered accountant in one of the big four in statutory audit department. Can you please guide me in terms of how do I do checking of revenue in a manufacturing company? So it is the answer to the question of all those people. My articleship experience is not matching with the experience of the job profile. So if you want to go into that area which you have not worked extensively also, but you can have some basic understanding. Now the moment it says all this, okay, अब मैं इसको फिर से बोलता हूँ. Can you prepare a specific case and ask me based on the above? अब वो तो आंसर पूछ रहा है आपसे. अब आप शांति से बैठ के पढ़ो और आंसर दो उसको. So if you are able to answer all this, it will give you a feedback. I am not aware of the answers. Can you help me with the answers of the above? Now, don't you think everything is ready? You are just supposed to invest most important and valuable thing called time. Here are the solutions also for the case studies. Now, don't you think that after putting some cases, one for revenue, one for debtors, one for creditors, one for payroll, one for assets, you can develop a good level of command? Okay. You allow me to capture this? अभी समझ में आया? ये बेसिक्स हुए अपने. So now the real art is what? Just simply copying from GPT or using the GPT properly. Tell me. Correct. Using the GPT properly. GPT is an assistant, please remember. So now I have been able to answer the question, sir, I don't have the experience in taxation, but I want to do taxation. Please highlight that. Once I get into the details of everything, given the time barriers, we have lesser time today, but I can tell you a lot of things can be done. Like when you will write the exposure, litigation, taxation, अब उसके अंदर if you have, for example, when you are writing the exposure of articleship, if you have done some more work in, let's say, corporate client, so you have to highlight the corporate client, because if you go to a bigger company, they are corporate, so the corporate taxation is more important to them rather than individual and partnership taxation. Please understand, in smaller firms, in smaller cities like Indore and even below cities, the exposure will be more to partnership firms and sole proprietorship firms. But if you have done some corporate taxation, you should highlight that. If you want to get into tax, If you have done some large scale work where a lot of data has to be pulled out from different sources for GST, so then you have to tell that. अगर आपके client के पास, for example, tell me, understand, you have done all this work, but the only thing is you have not been able to put it across. I'll tell you how. If your client is accepting money from UPI, debit card, credit card, cash, bank, RTGS, NEFT, don't you think for the purpose of calculating GST, you need to align all the sources of revenue together? And then your revenue recognition principles will get into action. So you have been doing all this. All of you, the chartered accountants who are right now here, have been doing all this. But the only thing is, have you been able to put it across properly or not? Correct? So all of the work has been done by all of you. So today our agenda had multiple things. I think I've tried to cover 3 or 4. We will be still requiring more. So we'll be doing more sessions. So let me take few questions. Okay. Uh, just a minute. I'll take that particular set of message which has gone through multiple questions. Okay. So question number 1 was there, should I insert passport size picture in CV, Samiti? So not needed. I said a picture, but not passport size. It can be round. It can be there. A photo is needed to ensure that the person who is appearing for the interview virtually and online is the same whose CV they are referring. Should I type marks obtained already taken? No need for marks obtained unless if there is a special achievement of exemption or highest score. Then client name in CV can be mentioned, I told you, without disclosing the actual financial details. The turnover can be mentioned so that it tells you the magnitude of the level of the client which you have done. It can be of 2 pages. Okay, I'm into a particular field since 3 years. Before clearing, I want to switch into a different domain after clearing. No problems. See, none of the offices has got a complete exposure. Okay, let me tell you, somebody is saying that they have done more of tax, more of audit. Nobody is an expert, but you are a chartered accountant. You have done all the 8 subjects exam clearance. Now you have done the IBS clearance. See, so IBS clearance kya? That means you can think on a multiple aspects. Now IBS paper was really tough this time, if I'm not wrong. And you have cleared that, so that means your brain is working. Na? Your capability is there. And if the basics are correct, they will take you. See, somebody denying a position to you is only based on the facts that you are not able to give answers. But if you are able to give answers properly, it shows that you know the work. Yes or no? Yes, this would be some IT fellow or some other fellow. I don't think so. You are being over obsessed with yourself. It is like an identification. And if ऐसा नहीं है मतलब मेरे हिसाब से, okay, then I have done articleship from a reputed firm which I put in CV, but for articleship registration I was registered under an associate firm which is not famous. Will it be a problem? No, it will not be a problem. What you will say is you were working with XYZ, which is a reputed firm, and you were seconded by ABC Limited. So what happens is there is a secondment concept where article of my firm will go to article of as an article to another firm. So we lend articles to each other. So that is formally called a secondment. So you will say pursued articleship in XYZ and was seconded by A by C, ABC. Okay. That happens. Okay. Then you have I am planning to pursue certificate courses. What I am need to do in certificate section in CV? There is no certificate section in CV. First of all, if you have done some certification courses, it's fine, otherwise not needed. I had this EY session, and in that EY session the partner clearly said that a fresh chartered accountant is expected to know the basics. Special certifications are not needed actually, and they are not the ticket to get into this. That is a more of a specialization. Like if you become a MBBS and then you pursue orthopedic or you pursue cardiology, that is a different. First of all, you need to become a MBBS. So it's like that. So it is not needed in the beginning. Okay. Then what are the options available to see apart traditional roles? That is the next session discussion we will have. That's a big thing to do. A lot of scope is there. What should be approached regarding attempts for multiple attempt pass out CAs, and can we hide out attempts for off campus opportunities or resume get shortlisted in interview? We will speak truth, but for CV to get shortlisted, can we hide attempts? It will not work. आप अपना पासिंग लिखिए, नंबर ऑफ अटेम्प्ट्स मत लिखिए, और क्या. But getting an opportunity there will anyways come. I have already shared one opportunity where there is no attempt criteria in PwC. I hope you have all have seen that. Have you all seen that opportunity or not? Tell me. Hello. Have you seen that or not? I'll share with you right now. Just a minute. Ye rahi. I have shared this. So I think you all have not been continuously keeping an eye on my messages. I would really suggest that my messages should be taken very seriously. Here it is. Okay. So multiple attempt criteria has been completed. And then can I apply for multiple domains in same company or firm? Usually they allow you to one. Okay. What I will do is I see WhatsApp is the easiest thing. That is why we have WhatsApp groups. On Telegram there is no chat allowed. So I post all the vacancies there, and every day in the night also I post all the vacancies posted during the day once again, so that after missing all the chats you can at least see it. Okay. Hmm. ATS does not get impacted if we use tables. You can hide the tables also, as I said. Once prepare the table and then hide the font, hide the color of table to white rather than black. So it's as simple as that. Then there was a question. I have assisted in quality review assignments and also in reviewing financials for preparation of preliminary report to be submitted to FRRB. Yes, you should mention this in your CV. Appropriate wordings of career objective usually should be what you want to achieve out of yourself. An objective cannot be a common objective. That was one more question. So I'm trying to address. Okay. Question number 24. 23. Do I need to prepare different CV for different roles, as in mention in heading that I want career or in XYZ domain? No, you're not. First line should not be there. But yes, if you're applying for statutory audit, so in your articleship exposure column, the statutory audit exposure should be first. Okay. And second should be your tax. But if you're applying for a tax position, then the tax exposure should be first in your articleship exposure table and then the audit exposure. So whatever you want to sell first should be shown first. Okay, I'm planning to start a CA firm after 1 or 2 years. Will it be worth to join a big firm for first few years after qualifying as a CA? Definitely yes. Why? Because you will come to know at what magnitude and in what technology level the world is working. So you will be able to understand that what you are thinking right now with limited exposure and where the world is going. Because what will happen is if you open up your office individually right now, you will be working into the same circumstances. You will not know what bigger world is awaiting. I just simply made you understand how to develop case studies and how to solve case studies right now on GPT, which many of you did not even think of. So the world is working in a very different way now. So it is my sincere request that given the chances and availability and support from family, if you can go and expose yourself to a bigger world in the beginning years of being a CA, it will be more helpful to you. Yes, Harsh, you can say I have done MP. This would be MPP KVCL, I think, if you are saying audit of MPEB, na turnover of 19,400. It's a discom, so it's an electricity distribution company. Why not? People will come to know, na. Okay. 24 and 25 together the question got answered. 25 question was this one only. If we want to practice, then should we go to big cities for some specialization or stay with city where we want to settle? Because in that city, initial payment will be less and also we don't have client base. Exposure is needed in bigger cities so that you can come and give that level of services in your city. मैंने अभी यही बोला. I tried to make you understand the bigger world first and then come back and give a better service to your clients in your city. और एक बार बताऊं, city barriers are nowhere. Any good businessman is always in touch with various people that who is giving a better service. So if you are able to give the same kind of service which your boss is giving, so then why the client will come to you? How will you differentiate your service from the others? That you have to understand. What are the prerequisites to be done and positioned to CV to get into investment banking or equity research? See, investment banking, equity research CVs, usually they try to target the big four articles as well as they try to target people who have done industrial trainings and they have been into FDD, M&A, tax and all that kind of stuff. Okay. And let me tell you one thing. Private equity and investment banking work in India doesn't happen the way it is shown on TV, the way it is shown on bigger shows. Most of the times what happened, you will be doing the back end work. I will open up and jab domain guidance ka session hoga, when there will be a domain guidance session, I will open up and tell you what exact work they do. So you'll realize that it seems to be very flashy from the outside, but from inside it is not as much as the same. And I will be inviting people also onto our channel and our conversations who are actually working there. They are my place students only. So they'll give you the exact guidance also. Okay, this is how it works. So you'll ask specific questions from them. Okay. I think if our long-term goal is own practice, then what kind of otherwise course we can do to accelerate career? Start meeting people, try to solve their regular day-to-day problems in their business. That is the biggest practical course you can do without any certificate. If you are able to understand your client's requirement and fulfill the needs of the client, then you are the best practicing chartered accountant around. As simple as that. You understood what I'm trying to say? Start solving problems. Now the problem can be from what? I am not getting the NOC, my banker is giving me trouble, I am not able to understand how the interest is being calculated, my return filing is becoming delayed. So if you are able to give solutions, then you are the required person. But if you are going to come and give gyan, aisa kar lo, waisa kar lo, do this, do that, they say, boss, who's going to do this? I'll tell you, I was approached by one of the factory owners right now. Bole, we had a safety audit with us and we appointed a consultant and he came and charged us a good amount of fee and said that this should be done, that should be done. Bole, that even I know. I want a person who will get it done. My team jumped in, say we will do this assignment, sir. So we are doing industrial safety and industrial labor relationship assignment right now. So how did I get that assignment? I was listening to the client. I was solving his queries. I was solving his problems. So once you solve few problems, then you develop a trust. And once you develop a trust, then the client gives you work. And when the client gives you work, it will always be something new work. So you have to continuously have a learning attitude for that. If you want to get into practice. Practice is a very different ball game. Okay. Okay. Yes, Mayank. If you want to get into FDD, they will look out first of all for a statutory audit exposure of listed clients. More, सबसे important. If you have a statutory audit exposure, why they? I have asked this question multiple times. There are very much intelligent students available, but you want stat audit exposure of listed clients. Bole, we don't have time. We don't have time, and that's why you don't have time. So they want plug and play candidates with themselves. So the plug and play candidates is available only after the good exposure. Therefore, they ask them to wait. If you go and get some good statutory audit client exposure, then they will get into it. So your path is very correct. Join a stat audit, work for listed clients, and then try and pitch yourself. That will help. Abhi, I really want all of you, once I will upload this lecture, I want all of you to put some responses and feedbacks in the group so that other candidates also come and join in. Okay. So this will help them. Okay. Prakhar, don't try to bluff in front of the any of the interviewer. What will happen is if you bluff in front of the interviewer with the help of GPT, he will come to know. So you have to very delicately balance it. मैंने क्या करा? I didn't tell you that what is to be looked in. I then went on one extent to create a case, solve the case, and then give that answer and then find that. So sooner or later you will be able to display a learning attitude, but you don't mention that you haven't worked in these areas unless he asks. See, you are giving the person an opportunity to nail you. ऐसा क्यों कर रहे हो? Let him ask the questions ना. Okay. A cover letter is not mandatory. A proper email paragraph is fine. Cover letter is not mandatory. Okay, nowadays. Okay. So the session has gone now almost for 1 hour 26 minutes. And then we will have another session on Sunday for domain guidance. I hope CV things were cleared. So now your feedback is not needed here on the chat box. It will be needed on the WhatsApp group as well as on the YouTube channel so that people can benefit out of it. Okay. So a small feedback will be required in the WhatsApp group. So you all have joined the WhatsApp group, the Telegram group. Okay. We'll meet on Sunday for domain guidance sessions. Okay. Work on your CV drafting session skills now. God bless all of you.
Recording stopped.